is headed back. Rogue agent neutralized.
What's going on, everybody? All right, so for the past couple of weeks, I have been working on trying to find a PvP build that doesn't revolve around the Perfected Clutch or even the Negotiator's three-piece. This build that you see in front of you and that you saw in the footage just before the start of this portion of the video is absolutely insane. It's a lot of fun to use. It's definitely not a build where you will feel invincible, because the whole purpose of this build is to get up close and personal because of having it revolve around the rock and roll named Shotgun, the ACS-12. So without further ado, let's get right into the build video. If you love this build video, let me know how it works out for you. If there's any changes you would like to see to the build, or see what else, or if you have any other theories of how to combat the Dark Zone and other players that are in it, definitely let me know in the comment section below. But for now, let's just get right into the build. So to start off, the main weapon that we are currently using is the rock and roll named ACS-12. So with this, it has reformation. I haven't modified this yet. I'm definitely going to modify it to a different talent. But where this weapon shines is using the Perfectly Extra and added 50% magazine capacity. So originally this shotgun, this ACS-12, has a 15 round, added 50%, that's plus 30. So it is just constant. Hold down the trigger and go to town. In rhythm, while equipped, enemy kills have a 5% chance to refresh active skill cooldowns. Not bad. Definitely helps if you're running Defender drone or if you're using a turret or anything of that nature. But this ACS-12 and then also the new KSG shotgun. The KSG shotgun is a little bit harder to use because it's a pump action, whereas the rock and roll is just automatic. It's literally like an automatic assault rifle, just with a very low RPM, just constantly holding down the trigger. So it does wonders in the DZ, especially depleting enemy armor damage, and the PvP players' armor, it just melts them like incredibly. Next, we've got the Merciless. For the holster talent, 5% chance to deal 100% damage as explosive damage. Comes in handy. You could run the specialization, the explosive specialization, for the added 25%. But in all honesty, if you're going to be running this ACS-12, you're going to want this as much stability as possible so that you can just, track your targets as they're running around you. Next, we've got the X45. Nothing too fancy here. That's just the sidearm for this build. So for now, we're going to go right into it. We're running the two-piece True Patriot because of the 10% total armor. On the mask, we've got 19% hazard protection and then 14,370 health. For the offensive mob, we've got 1% weapon damage, 4.5% weapon handling, and 1% damage to armor. Next, we've got the Ferocious Calm named chest piece from Group AB. Added 10% assault rifle damage, added 6.5% critical hit chance, 16,000 armor, and then 25% total armor. That's been modified. Perfect Berserk, this shines so much because you're going to, in firefights, you're going to deplete your armor. So as much damage as you can pump out with this shotgun, or with anything else really, you're going to make wonders with it. And you could also run an assault rifle if you choose to with this build because of the synergy between the Ferocious Calm and then the two pieces of the China Light Industries. For the offensive mod slot, we've got the 1.5 weapon damage, 3% SMG damage, and 3% assault rifle damage. Definitely you want your offensive mod slots to cooperate with the weapon that you're using. In my case, I only had 5 offensive mod slots, or 5 offensive mods in general. So with this, I had to put on what I had. So definitely look for something better that will complement the weapons that you are using. But let's keep going further. Next, we've got the True Patriot Young Low Friction Holster. This is because of the two-piece, the 10% total armor damage. You're going to want as much armor as possible, especially because of all the builds that are running around right now with the Perfected Clutch and the Death Grips. Next, we've got the Strategic Alignment China Light Industries Corp. This has the Perfected Talent, Perfect Spark, and damaging enemies with skills or explosives grant plus 20% weapon damage for 15 seconds. So when you have the Merciless and it has that 5% proccing, especially with this shotgun, it's an automatic 20% weapon damage. It's phenomenal. Then we've got the added 40% explosive damage. Nothing crazy there. Utility mod slot, we've got 58 skill power, 5% burn damage, and 1.5% bleed damage. You really don't need to run a utility mod slot because, as you can see, this build is not revolving around skill power. You're not going to be really using your skills except for a defender drone to negate much of the damage that is dealt to you in the DZ. But choose a fit what you will. You want to run them utility, you can. If you don't, you want to run it with something else, that's perfectly fine as well. Next, we've got the Douglas and Harding, the Loki hand savers. And with this, we've got 10% shotgun damage, 4% SMG damage, along with the 5% accuracy. You're going to want as much accuracy as well because of the ACS-12 and how it spreads. Definitely look for something that has a high accuracy. But for this, opportunistic enemies you hit take 10% more damage from all sources for 3 seconds. Requires a marksman rifle or shotgun drawn. This is where it shines, because as soon as the enemy or whichever enemy that you're hitting with the shotgun, it's constantly going to keep proccing, There's nothing it's not going to deplete. I mean, that's an added 10% more damage from all sources. So it works wonders with this. And then lastly, we've got the China Light Industries Corporation. Again, 2-piece because of the shotgun damage, the added 10% shotgun damage. With the attributes on this, we've got the 10% total armor modified, and then we've got hard hitting, 25% damage to elites. Along, we have the offensive mod slot firearms, 1% weapon damage with 4% SMG damage, 3% rifle damage. So all in all, guys, that is the build in a nutshell. I am running the Defender drone, and then I do have the Explosive Seeker mines here. Other than that, I mean, this build is a lot of fun to use. You can do wonders with it, and this is definitely something that you can just make it your own. I mean, you don't have to run Ferocious Calm if you don't want to. I sometimes will run my Armadillo vest because it just gives me a lot of health, and it adds on to the survivability of being in the dark zone. But all in all, I mean, from the video footage that you saw, you will melt PvP players' armor because they are running a certain type of build that everyone is running. So in order to combat that, figure out what it is that you can do to find justice within the DZ. I don't know. It's absolutely insane. I love it. This is what I run in the DZ. Definitely give it a try. If you feel like something else could be tweaked or if something else can be possibly modified in any way, definitely leave it in the comment section below. This is my first ever PvP build that I've ever shown on my channel. Usually I just do the heroic builds because, those are challenging enough. But I definitely wanted to take this in a different direction, wanted to see what I could come up with in the DZ and just see how far I could get and how long I could survive with this build. So other than that, guys, I really hope you enjoyed the video. Definitely leave your comments below. Let me know what you think of it. If you find this build absolutely fun to use, if you find it that's helping you in the DZ, what have you, definitely let me know. I want to hear your stories. Okay, guys, I have nothing else for you, and I will catch you around next time. Take care.